What's going on, everyone? I figured I'd start another video here today, focused on VeVe, and I was thinking today we would take a look at what my favorite, in my own personal opinion, what my favorite VeVe NFTs are. So I kind of made a list here of what currently is available. I went through that, and I narrowed it down to what the 5 favorites are. Now, there's a little trick to this. I wanted to make sure that I own them. So there's going to be a follow-up video at some point, either tonight or tomorrow, and that'll be my wish list. And that one's going to also have 5 of all the ones that I don't currently own that I would kind of want to add to my collection. Ones that I wouldn't mind holding, whether that be because I think monetarily they're a great long-term hold, or if it's because simply I like the design, I like the interactivity, I like the ability to pop it on my Instagram in one of those photos. And I think that's the common theme you're going to see here with my favorites. While some of them do definitely have some value attached to them, some of these are just because of their personal design and the ability to kind of create a piece of artwork with them, as weird as that sounds, and put that on Instagram, get those likes, do that kind of thing. And I think that's what VeVe's going for, and that's what makes this exciting. So without really any further ado, what you're going to see is hopefully you're going to see some pictures as I go through this. I'll read the descriptions of what these NFTs are, kind of go through some of the details on them, and then just kind of highlight why I like them, where I think they may possibly be going. And hey, we'll go from there. We'll go together. All right. So coming up, I'm going to go in reverse order here. So obviously, if you need me to kind of spell that out, that'll be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hopefully, I count it right there. We'll hear that on the playback. But anyway, so I'm going to start with number 5, and number 5 is going to be the number 89 Batman. So the number 89 Batman. So I'm going to put the picture up if it's not already up there on your screen. And what this one is often referred to is kind of the Batman who laughs. And I'll be completely honest, I may have seen an image of this in the past, but I was not really aware of this version of Batman. So it was new to me when it was released, which definitely added some sort of excitement. So take that with a grain of salt. When I'm kind of going over this one. But I'm going to read the description here on the number 89 Batman. The Batman black and white line brings to life interpretations of the world's greatest detective and select Gotham City characters from the comics. Ripped from the pages of Dark Knight's Metal comes the Batman who laughs, a striking version of the Caped Crusader who makes nightmares shudder. Designed by Greg Capullo? Probably butchered that name. I'm awful with names, so I apologize. Series available globally. And as I go through this, it looks like there were 16,800 editions of this. I currently own number 2925, and it looks like it is currently going for a floor price of 60 gems. So while that's going for kind of a low price, I think that definitely correlates with the large amount of editions that were created on this. So this one definitely took a while to sell out from the store, and it kind of had one little surge in the recent months, and that had to do with a lot of people realizing, hey, this is a first appearance Batman. So that still stays true. There's been a massive dip on this one again. It seems to be starting to slowly climb. But this is definitely one I wanted to add to my collection because I absolutely love the artwork. I think this is by far the coolest Batman released yet. I think it's just such a different take on him. It's got a darker version, and I just love that. So this is definitely one that I'll be holding long term, one that I really, really like. So without further ado, I'm going to back out of this one here, and I'm going to head over to my number 4. I just got to kind of scroll up here, so bear with me. I'll get the picture loaded up there for you as well. And so my number 4, and I own edition number 2855 of this one, and that is going to be Throg, the Mighty Froglearn. Don't even, again, names. Let's not. But anyway, yeah, so with this one, we'll go with Throg. I really do like the rare pose. I wish I owned the ultra rare, I'll be honest. I don't. But I do have the rare. I did splurge on that one. And that is simply because I like the pose on this one. I hope that this is going to be a very big character, and I'm banking on that. I do have a few of the uncommons in terms of flipping. And I think it is something that Marvel's very smart when it comes to their properties. So what they're thinking of is hopefully what I'm thinking of. We're going to start releasing these characters. They're going to start seeing them a little more and more as time goes on. So take a look at Throg appearing in a certain show, possibly. I don't want to give any spoilers, so I won't go any further. So there's definitely plans for the characters they're showing. You see that in the comics as well, with them kind of alluring to Sam Wilson. You see that also in the collectibles they're showing. So it's interesting, and I think we're going to get to know him a lot more. So I think a lot of people are going to go from not knowing he existed to knowing him and possibly him becoming one of our favorites. So more on him, but a lot of my reason for liking this specific one is the pose, and that is because he is holding up the hammer above his head while just kind of in a classic frog pose there. So I really do like that one a lot. Again, with this one, there were 4,225 of them. It is considered a first appearance. Again, I own number 2855. And right now it does look to be going for a floor price of 115 gems. So yeah, a little bit on that guy. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at number 3. And number 3 for me is one of the serial killers. And it is so hard to decide which. This is no doubt my favorite series as a whole on VeVe. There is just something about serial characters, nostalgia, if you will. And I really, really like all of the different designs. The names, they're a great kind of play on words. You know, you have Fat Tony. You have, the Captain Cornstarch. Sorry, I'm blanking on him now. Frankenfat, I believe. The Count Chocula one. And this one, which is my favorite probably in the series, again, it's just so hard for me to pick. But I'm going to go with 2-Ton Sam. He is part of the second series, or the second season of the serial killers. And I do own quite a few of him. So when I go with addition, I'll just pick my best number here. And that looks to be number 0353 again, and this is 2-Ton Sam. It is currently a floor price of 57, so that is going up. It was struggling a little bit around $50 earlier this morning, and it is about 11 o'clock at night now. But with this one, there were 4,444, which, again, not a lot. That is a lot in terms of the serial killers, because there aren't a lot of any of them. So with this, again, I think there's going to be a massive allure to these in the future. A lot of people coming in who say, oh, I grew up with that character, and they're going to want to add him or her to their collection. So it's one to definitely keep in the back of your mind that these may continue to go up in price. Again, with all of my podcasts, with all of my, things I post here, please not, do your own research, do your own due diligence. Don't take this as financial advice, because it's not. I'm just like a lot of you, kind of aimlessly talking about something I love. So again, just kind of laying out theories here, but 2-Ton Sam, the design, again, I really like the majority of the characters. I wasn't thrilled with the Lucky Charms or the Count Choculas, the ultra rares. Not necessarily that they were the ultra rare, just those are probably my least two favorite designed out of them. Not to say I don't love them. I absolutely do. But the series as a whole, you can't go wrong with any of them. So number 3, I'm going to give that one to 2-Ton Sam. So going into number 2, I hope I covered all the stats. If not, call me out in the comments. Again, still new. So we're going to take a look at number 2 on my list, and that would be one of the rabbits from the Jermaine Rogers collection. So these are going to be Comic-Con exclusives, so that definitely adds to the allure of these. All of them are beautiful, all of them. They're all very different, yet all very much alike. So you'll definitely, if you haven't seen them, take a look at the picture on the screen of the one that I have chosen. That is the Assassin. And the reason I have chosen this one over the other rabbits, it was definitely going to be one of them. Lucky obviously has appeal, but I don't own Lucky. And then the blue, the Night Watch one, that is a wonderful one. I love the design of that. The colors, they just seem to pop. But with this one, the Assassin, I absolutely love the eyes on that red, the red nose. And then, of course, you have to notice that this, of course, is the only one with the blood on the knife. I know a lot of people have covered that, but that doesn't change the fact that it's true. So that is really cool. And you can see some pictures on my Instagram, NFT Cryptic on Instagram. Go check that out. You'll see another reason as to why I love this rabbit. Just the creativity you can use it with and the different scenarios you can place him in definitely makes it worth holding, makes it worth having. So definitely putting him in my number 2 spot here, right behind or right in front of Two-Town Sam. As we head into the number 1 spot, I think most of you, even one episode in if you've listened, probably know what I'm going to pick here, and that is going to be the Todd McFarlane Batman, the first appearance, the first NFT by DC that's licensed, the first Batman, like the first VeVe NFT. I could go on and on. A lot of firsts there. The value of this can't be understated. So long-term hold, absolutely. But I think the reason I like it as well is not only just because it's a beautiful design. I know in the comic book world, it also has a huge following. I believe it was the comic book cover, if I'm not mistaken, of one of the issues. So there's a lot of people who know about this pose, this statue. And so with that, I related to it in a very different way. Growing up, I'm going to date myself here, walking into EB Games before they were bought out by GameStop. Walking into there, they had the action figures, much like they still do, and they had a set of Todd McFarlane action figures, but they had them for a game series that I loved as a kid, Metal Gear Solid. And the main character, Solid Snake, they had him in the Todd McFarlane version, and I just remembered all the details on that character. And the ability to kind of put his weapon in his holster and take it out, and all of the little designs that went into that. And I know that his name is just so well known, not only in the comic book world, but in the collectible world, in the figurine world. So even going into that, I've seen the name as someone who hadn't previously been a very avid collector, more a gamer, a pop art kind of nerd, if you will. Yeah, definitely my number 1. It's going to remain my number 1, I feel, as the app goes on. I'm excited to see where we're going. And again, I want to do another video here very shortly detailing the wish list, where I'll cover, 5 other items that I wish I could have, that I'm maybe working towards achieving. Again, I like to flip, not necessarily for the monetary value. That definitely plays a role, but definitely because I want to work towards owning some of these collectibles, the ones that I don't have. And it's one of those things where you see that floor rising and you want to kind of get in sooner rather than later. So I'll definitely be putting that list together, and I'll be putting out another podcast video here where I detail that. So stay tuned, and thank you for sticking with it.